Hello there, everybody. Today, I'm going to talk about why we must refund unfinished games. And I can hear you thinking, wow, what a conundrum. But I don't really want to talk about the obvious stuff like stick it to the man and we cannot accept subpar products and all of that. Now, I want to talk about something that's a little bit more personal. You see, I am a dad. I'm an adult with responsibilities. And as a gaming dad, I don't have the money to buy all the games that I want to buy. More than that, I don't have the time to actually play the games that I can buy. So it is incredibly important to not waste a second on crap. Most notably, for me personally, was Cyberpunk 2077. I'm sure it was the same for many other people. Now, the footage you see in the background is from how the game launched in 2020. And this was recorded on a base PS4. I mean, this game basically launched in early access, okay? And then they continued to develop the game for a further 3 years. And now it is finally playable. And because I refunded it back then, I now get to experience the game as it was intended. I also paid a fraction of the price that it sold for at launch. But more importantly than the money, again, is the time. I'm not going to waste whatever little time I have on a piece of shit game. Now, I want to direct your attention to the footage of Cyberpunk 2077 as it is now. This is the trailer for Phantom Liberty. And because I've never played the game before, I really cannot wait to do my first playthrough. And I'm going to do it the way that I wanted to and the way that it was supposed to happen. Another example of this is Starfield. Starfield launched a few months ago or a few weeks ago. And in my previous video on Starfield, I spoke about the lack of ground vehicles and how that didn't make sense to me. I only spoke about the vehicles, but that to me was a huge red flag, was something wasn't right with this game. Something didn't quite add up. If the reviews are to be believed, Starfield is unfinished, subpar, not what many people wanted, and not what a lot of people expected. The defense being thrown our way is, of course, it's Bethesda. You know what you were getting. Well, that's not good enough for me. I wanted to play a proper space game, and as it is now, it's just not what I wanted. Now, they will obviously continue to develop this game, and maybe a few years from now, after the expansions, after the DLC, then it'll probably be worth it for you to play. But as it is now, we're just going to waste our precious time. It brings me to one of two things will happen when you refund the game. Either the developers will abandon the game, like they did with Mass Effect Andromeda and with Anthem, both of which are BioWare games, which gives us something to think about for the future, or they're going to go the route of CDPR, which worked diligently on Cyberpunk 2077, and they finally released it with Phantom Liberty, and now it's worth playing, right? So either way, it's a win-win. Because either you don't play the game at all, which means you save yourself from that disappointment, or when you get to experience the game, it'll be the one you wanted to play. One other quick note that I want to make about refunding a game. When you play a broken game that launches in that state, you are effectively insulting the hard work that the developers on the ground put in. Not the corporations who forced the early release, the actual people who put all their love and all their passion into the project. Their work deserves better than that. I understand the point I just made has nothing to do with our money and our time, but I do know some game devs and I dabble myself, and it's just heartbreaking for me to watch a game get absolutely destroyed online, knowing the amount of work that had to have gone into that project. I know that we will never convince the rest of the gaming community to refund the games when they launch in a terrible state, but we, as sensible gaming mums and dads, we can put our money where our mouths are, which is nowhere near these games that need more time to be worth our time. That's it. Cheers. Like, subscribe, yada, yada, yada.